Okay. All right. Three, two, one. Hey guys, welcome back to the BNB podcast. This is Arshil, your usual co-host. With me is Neil, of course, one of the other usual co-hosts, and we are back with Show Your Work. So this is going to be the fourth episode of the Show Your Work series, and today we are going to discuss chapter number 7 and 8. So you know the drill, right? There are chapters and there are topics within those chapters. We will read those topics out, we'll share the big idea behind that topic, and there are things that me and Neil individually have highlighted, things that resonate with us, and we'll just give out those nuggets from Show Your Work chapter number 7 and 8. So let's dive in. uh, Chapter 7 is don't turn into a human spam, and topic number 1 is shut up and listen. I guess this is something you would want to start with.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
All right. So the topic is shut up and listen. And here is the quote that says, when people realize they are being listened to, they tell you things. And they tell you real things. I would improvise it a little bit more.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I'll just straight jump into the big idea.
Hmm.
So, the big idea is no matter how famous they get, as in the artist or the people, no matter how famous they get, the forward-thinking artists of today aren't just looking for fans or passive consumers of their work. They are looking for potential collaborators or co-conspirators. These artists acknowledge the good work isn't created in a vacuum, and that the experience of art is always two-way street, incomplete without feedback.
Hmm.
So that's a great idea, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anything that gets created
Hmm.
without feedback, it is nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the big idea, I feel.
Mm-hmm. That is how it is, right? Like we talked about this in the previous episode of Show Your Work,
Yeah,
right? That the work cannot
be
live in a
created.
vacuum, right?
Yeah,
It is
yeah,
standalone. It won't survive much. It has to have uh, some feelings and emotions associated with it of people who truly resonate with it. Once that is there, once there's a feedback, we receive some batshit crazy feedback as well,
absolutely.
right? And working on that, collaborating, inviting people to be a part of your scene,
Mm, mm.
that is the work of art, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely. And the first part of it is really interesting. Like, no matter how famous they get,
Yeah.
that is really important.
Yeah.
People or the artists do hang out online and they answer questions. They get live. They ask for feedback from the community.
Mm.
Of course, there are good feedback and bad feedback, and
Yeah.
how to choose, what to choose, we can
Go there.
definitely
Yeah.
we'll go through that in the next chapters. But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
feedback is important.
Mm.
And there is something on the page number 127 which says, if you want fans, you have to be a fan first. If you want to be accepted by community, you have to first be a good citizen of that community. If you're only pointing to your own stuff online, you're doing it wrong. You have to be a connector.
Mm.
The writer Blake Butler calls it being an open node. If you want to get, you have to give. And
Mm.
that's what we discuss all the time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
If you want to be noticed, you have to notice. Shut up and listen once in a while. Be thoughtful, be considerate. Don't turn into human spam.
Yeah.
Be an open node.
Crazy.
Absolutely
Crazy.
crazy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I mean, this is so simple, right? But yet it's we get it wrong most of the time. A lot
Right.
of us get it wrong. Like we just start chasing results and outcome of any piece of content or any small effort that goes into a brand building activity or just showing your work in
Hmm.
general.
Hmm.
You associate a lot of expectations with it, but that's not going to happen, right? To be able to receive that kind of feedback for the work you've put out,
Right.
you have to be doing that. You have
Exactly.
to be a good citizen of the community
Hmm.
where your kind of people hang out. Go there, be a fan of their work,
Absolutely.
contribute to their work, then ask them to look at your work, invite them to be the part of your process. They look at your work, they give you feedback, and there's a mutual exchange, right? So that is what one of the earlier chapters of show your work says as well, right? That it's a scene of people. It's a scene of people, and you have to be a genius.
Serious.
uh, Collaboration is the ultimate truth of creativity, I
Absolutely.
guess.
There is no one-way street.
Yeah,
It's
it is
it's
not.
always going to be
It's a give and take.
Yeah.
The more you give, the more you
Get.
can ask for, and you
Yeah.
get. Yeah.
Even yesterday, in a community meetup,
Yeah,
again,
you were there. Yeah.
one of the moderators again highlighted the fact that people kept asking him a question like uh, how to be good at networking, how to network within the community and all of that. And he gave us straight away one answer,
Yeah.
which is help. If you don't help,
Yeah.
nothing will
Nothing
really
will work.
work out
Yeah,
really to
exactly.
your favor. So
Exactly.
you help, and then whenever you need help,
Yeah.
you just have to give a call, and you'll receive that help for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
That has worked so well for him. He always preached that
Yeah.
sentence, and
Yeah.
I love that fact for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anything else
Yeah, I
from that
mean,
one, or should we move to the next one?
yeah, I think we can move to the next one.
Okay. So the next topic from the same chapter, that is chapter number 7, which is shut up and listen. The topic number 2 of that chapter is you want hearts, not eyeballs. The big idea is actually the quote on the left is what you want is to follow and be followed by human beings who care about issues you care about. This thing we make together, this thing is about hearts and minds, not eyeballs, right? And the simple idea is that you have to stop worrying about how many people follow you online and start worrying about the quality of people who follow you. Don't waste your time reading articles about how to get more followers. Don't waste time following people online just because you think it will get you somewhere. Don't talk to people you don't want to talk to. And don't talk about stuff you don't want to talk about, right?
Easy.
And that's what you just want. You need hearts, not eyeballs. If people are coming and looking at your stuff, it's not good enough. There has to be a sense of connect.
Exactly.
And that's why quality of people who follow you is what is going to matter.
Engagement is what
Yeah.
matters,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
yesterday only I was looking at somebody's profile on Instagram, and he sent me a cold email like, do you really want to like collaborate on certain post we can do together for your brand?
Yeah.
And he mentioned that I have 1 million followers on Instagram, and I went there and watched his profile. It looked all good, but when I started reviewing some of the posts and comments under that, it was pretty common, like only 4, 5, 6 comments,
Ah,
same people commenting. So I
it was bought.
yeah,
Like
so
so.
I could sense that it's not real.
It's yeah, yeah.
And the way I actually go about it is how
The quality of engagements. Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
and that's what it talks about.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Uh, this is something interesting, right? So, talking of interesting, uh, there's this question the author is quoting. Have you tried making yourself a more interesting person? Think of the word interesting the way writer Lawrence Weschler does. For him, to be interesting, it is to be curious and attentive, and to practice the continual projection of interest. To put it more simply, if you want to be interesting, you have to be interested.
Interested.
Like I like the sophistication of how it is portrayed. Have you made any efforts to make yourself interesting? And then it is the continual projection of being interesting. Like interesting, if you word interesting, that is how it's split into two. Interest, it means you're curious and attentive.
Right.
And when you do ing, which is the present tense of interest, kind of I guess is an activity and I'm indulged in an interesting thing. So you are doing it on a continual basis, and if you keep doing that, you should be okay.
Absolutely.
Like, you have to be an interesting person, and the simple way to be interesting is to be interested first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, this is
Look
sometimes
at the previous paragraph and this one.
yeah.
I mean, there are lines after
Yeah,
lines after
yeah,
lines,
yeah,
those so simply put.
Superb.
but so
Yeah, yeah,
profound in ways like you can
yeah.
never imagine.
So
Crazy.
this was the second most interesting thing of you want hearts, not eyeballs. The third most interesting thing, it's I'll just simply read out, right. Connections don't mean shit.
Hmm.
Says record producer still Steve Albini. I never had any connections that weren't a natural outgrowth of doing things I was doing anyway. Albini laments how many people waste time and energy trying to make connections instead of getting good at what they do. When being good at things is the only thing that earns you clout or connections.
Hmm.
I mean, so I resonate so much, and what's about to come next. I'm truly a fan of the next topic that you might be reading out. Like seriously, and I know we can recall that incident
Hmm.
because once you start reading it, you will be actually in that place,
Okay.
the meetup one.
Mhm.
But this resonates with me so much.
Yeah.
Like I am someone who is really fucking bad at networking.
Definitely
I
same. Like,
cannot invest that amount of time in going and talking to people and say that you should be interested in me.
yeah.
Rather, I would invest time in doing this
Yeah.
because if there are people who are like us,
Hmm.
they'll reach us out and we'll have something to collaborate on.
Absolutely.
So
And same thing.
connections don't mean shit. You just have
Yeah.
to get better
Yeah.
at your craft and you start pulling the right set of people towards you. So
Absolutely. And
and
same thing I felt when, I was just coming out of that networking event, just got over,
yeah,
and,
yeah.
people were trying to uh, go to certain people, meeting
Mm.
them,
Yeah.
handshaking, trying to ask
Yeah.
how it has been, this,
Yeah.
that, and I was just trying to see where the door is
Where
and
is the door?
how can I
Yeah.
go out and, have some
Yeah.
fresh air.
Yeah.
And that's how it is, like,
Yeah.
it
Forgive those events are fucking claustrophobic for sure. For sure.
exactly.
This is
It's there's no.
yeah.
I mean, certain people thrive in those kind of
Yeah.
situations, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't find that within me. Like, I
Yeah.
don't enjoy those things.
Yeah.
I
Same
always,
here.
kind of
Same.
take a way out,
Yeah.
and yeah, I mean, that's
Yeah.
how it is.
So if you don't go to networking event, what do you do is next?
Amazing.
It's meetup in a meet space.
Yeah,
You are about to read that one out.
sure.
142.
Chapter number
It's the same chapter,
seven,
yeah, topic
topic
3.
number whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it says meetup in meet space. And the big idea is the quote: "You and I will be around a lot longer than Twitter, and nothing substitutes face to face."
Crazy, crazy.
Even this thing, right?
Yeah,
IRL. I
yeah,
never
yeah.
knew the meaning of it. I don't know. I was like,
Uh,
what is IRL? And
yeah,
I just looked up on it, and it says in real life.
yeah, it's
I was
written
like
it over
blown
here.
away. Like, do we really have to use this kind of words as well? Like,
Yeah,
are we into that much,
yeah.
digital drama that?
And that's what the start is, right? He says that it freaks
Oh
me
yeah,
out a little bit how many of my favorite people in the world came into my life as ones and zeros. One and
exactly.
zero. I was like, fuck, everything is so bloody digital
True,
that
true.
you found them in a digital setup
Hmm. But
through signals
again,
of one and zeros. Yes, sorry,
this has also made things
a lot
a lot
easier.
easier,
Yeah, yeah,
because otherwise it would have been terrible to find just two people in the whole city like that resonates so much, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Okay. Yeah.
so I'll just read the paragraph from one page number 143.
Mm.
I love the phenomenon of meetups,
Mm.
an online community throwing a party at a bar or a restaurant and inviting everybody to show up at a certain place and time. There's a lot of this kind of events in Austin, and I'm sure there's bunch of in your town too. And yeah, of course we do have.
Yeah, yeah.
If there aren't any, set one up. They are a lot less stressful than traditional forms of networking because you already know a lot of the people who show up and you have seen their work.
Yeah. Amazing.
So that's an interesting stuff. So
Yeah. And the way he ends it is
yeah,
like really juicy, right? Meeting people online is awesome, but turning them into in real life friends
Hmm.
is even better.
Absolutely.
And reminds me that we have to do a meetup for the BNB podcast, I guess. Like
Oh.
when we reach 21,
Yeah.
uh, 21 episodes, we should gather people who
Hmm.
might have heard about it
Hmm.
and just do a branding and building meetup.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
and
that's
the
a
BNB
crazy idea.
meetup. Yeah, that we should do this.
Yeah.
Call out people,
Yeah.
and maybe we get 5-15 people who might be interested in talking to us, having meaty conversations.
Yeah.
So yeah, meetups in meet space.
Yeah.
Juicy.
And IRL in
Yeah,
real life.
in real life. Yeah. Okay.
So let's do that. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
crazy
we, we,
idea. I
we
mean,
should, we
we
should,
can.
we should, we
Yeah.
we have to.
Yeah.
So 21st episode, if someone is listening to this, if
Hmm.
you happen to be in Surat,
Yeah.
we will be doing a BNB meetup.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there is no one-way street. So we
Yeah,
anyway
yeah,
want to be two-way with our people as well.
yeah,
So yeah.
yeah, of course. Okay, chapter number 8. So that was chapter number 7. It was shut up and listen, I guess. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was the topic.
Topic. Yeah.
This is don't turn into a human spam.
Yeah, yeah. So chapter number 7 was don't turn into a human spam. Chapter number 8 is learn to take a punch. This is amazing one as well.
Great.
Topic number 1, let them take their best shot, right? So the whole thing, the big idea is when you put your work out into the world, you have to be ready for the good, the bad, and the ugly. The more people come across your work, the more criticism you'll face. Here's how to take punches. So the chapter gives you recipes of dealing with criticism that your work might face, and at the start of it, and that is something written in the book as well, right? uh, at the start we are amateur and we're always going to be amateurs, but our work is also going to be a bit shitty. You see, sometimes the mic is glitchy, some fucking asshole is trying to bang 2 floors uh, worth of noise going into the mics
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And you, while you get better at your work, you still have to keep showing,
Yeah.
and chances are people won't like it. People will have some nasty things to say.
Yeah.
If that happens, here's how you can deal with it. First, relax and breathe. The trouble with imaginative people, creatives, is that we are good at picturing the worst that could happen to us. Fear is often just the imagination taking a wrong turn. Bad criticism is not the end of the world. This is amazing. As far as I know, no one has ever died from a bad review. Fuck. Take
Love
a
the way
deep
he put it, like, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Take a deep breath and accept whatever comes. Consider practicing meditation. It works for me, and it did. It seriously works for me as well. Yeah, yeah. Second, strengthen your neck. The way to be able to take a punch is to practice getting hit a lot. So put out a lot of work. Let people take their best shot at it. Then make even more work and keep putting it out there. The more criticism you take, the more you realize it cannot hurt you.
Crazy.
Amazing. Amazing. The third recipe is roll with the punches. Just keep moving. Every piece of criticism is an opportunity for new work. You can't control what sort of criticism you receive, but you control how you react to it. Sometimes when people hate something about your work, it's fun to push that element even further. To make something they'd hate even more.
I've done that. I've done that. Yeah.
Having your work hated by certain people is a badge of honor.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, this is such a good way of taking criticism. If someone hates your shit, create more shit. Oh, fuck. Amazing. Uh, Fifth, protect your vulnerable areas. If you have work that is too sensitive or too close to you to be exposed to criticism, keep it hidden. But remember what writer Colin Marshall says, compulsive avoidance of embarrassment is a form of suicide. This is fucking crazy. I'm not suggesting anything, but you shouldn't be avoiding embarrassment. You have to be open to your vulnerabilities. It's okay.
It's okay.
If it
Yeah.
doesn't work, if no one watches this, fuck you.
Yeah,
We don't
we don't
care.
care. Absolutely.
And the last one is keep your balance. You have to remember that your work is something you do, not who you are.
Hmm.
This is especially hard for artists to accept, as so much of what they do is
Very
personal.
personal.
Yeah, it is. It is. It takes a. What we are doing is emotional labor.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not
Absolutely.
something that you have to type 1,000 pages of worth of transcripts of this recording and then post it online, right?
Yeah.
We have to plan this shit out.
Hmm.
We are investing a lot of emotional labor into this, and
Absolutely.
of course there is going to be some sort of attachment to this.
Hmm.
Keep close to your family, friends, and the people who you love, not just work.
Hmm.
So these are the recipes to take punches. How to take criticism in a good way. A straight out recipe from the book show you. Crazy. The trick is not caring what everybody thinks of you and just caring about what right people think of you.
Hmm.
So yeah, keep your close ones closer and have good friends and family around and keep doing great work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And I
Uh,
also see that as we move closer to the end of the book,
yeah.
it gets intense in a way
Yeah.
that the author is already kind of sharing that
Mm.
if you are following the recipe,
Mm.
likely you are getting good traction and you
Yeah,
are
yeah, you are getting some sort of
exactly.
criticism as well. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah, it's built in that way that
yeah.
that is the best part, you
Hmm.
know. I always have this thought to myself. I don't know whether this is original or whether it's stolen,
Hmm.
but great ideas have execution inbuilt.
Yeah.
Like show your work. The book
Hmm.
is a really good concept. 10 ways of showing off your work, right?
Yeah.
But it has execution built in it. Like
Absolutely.
when you start reading it, you know it's doable.
Yeah.
You get to it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the
Absolutely.
most fucking crazy thing about ideas.
Hmm.
Whenever you have something that you think that you want to sit around and want to naturally let it grow,
Hmm.
I don't know how to do it, but sometimes it comes through a gut that you start building execution in the idea itself. So when it
Right.
goes out,
Hmm.
all the parts are kind of there. Not the best, but
Yeah.
it's still a
It's
car.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. Okay. Next topic.
The topic says don't feed the trolls,
Mm.
and of course it uh, provides the continuation in the idea.
Yeah.
The first step in evaluating feedback is sizing up who it came from. Wow. A troll is a person who isn't interested in improving your work, only provoking you with hateful, aggressive, or upsetting talk. You will gain nothing by engaging with these people. Don't feed them. They'll usually go away.
Yeah.
And that's like, most of the time we have
Yeah.
seen people like that. They'll
Mm-hmm.
just of course we are not at that level yet,
Yeah.
but we have seen
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
such people with celebrities in their comment section. I usually watch them, like, in the
Yeah.
comment
Yeah.
section there are a
Yeah.
lot of juice. So
Usually, yeah.
usually there are people like that, and then these are the comments who gets up as well,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
because a lot of this hateful or troll people are collective, and they will
Mm.
keep supporting this kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
So uh, all you need to do is size up who is it coming from,
Yeah.
and then you can decide whether you really have to take that seriously or not.
Yeah.
That's what it says, right?
Mm.
So
Mm.
yeah, I mean that is the big idea,
Mm.
and really small chapter. I
Yeah.
don't think
Yeah.
I have anything else
Yeah.
to
Both.
say from this.
Yeah. Both the chapters were small, but it hits you hard, right? These are
Absolutely.
now these are not things about showing your work,
Yeah.
but once you start, so like up until the point where we were in the space of chapter number 6, like from 1 to 6, it's mostly about it's framing you to putting in the work,
Yeah.
to creating something, and to start sharing.
Start sharing. Yeah.
And then everything from chapter number 6, like 7, sorry, 7,
Seven.
8, 9, 10,
Mm.
is the is the
Post. Yeah.
post of once you shared your work out there, what happens, right?
What
So the
happens? Yeah.
afterlife of the creation. And that's why the chapters are small. These are not related to exactly your work in terms of creation, but these are how do you feel about your creation itself once it is out there. So yeah, that is chapter number 7 and 8 from show your work. Anything before we close?
No, I think I love the progression.
Yeah, yeah.
How it is going is really
Okay.
crazy,
Yeah.
and it
When
just gives you that sense of what is coming.
yeah, yeah.
And I love the fact that we are actually reading it out so that we actually know
It's
what
a
happens.
lot of ingrained, like it's now, uh, it's second nature to think about these two books. Still like an artist, show your
So
work.
you, yeah,
Because this one, though, we literally read it out
yeah, yeah,
through and
through and
through,
through,
like so it's 1 month of show your work.
yeah,
Literally, it is one
yeah,
month of show your work.
yeah.
And to read it and then to create content pieces to support this episode and the
Yeah,
aftermath of the
aftermath of
episode.
everything.
Fuck, I mean, it is now getting so deep that I can collect things which we haven't read, we just have read once, but
Yeah,
fuck, crazy. This, it's like a Bible. It's
yeah,
like a Bible.
true,
Yeah.
true.
Okay,
And
so
honestly, the uh, best piece of uh, Bible is very relevant,
yeah, yeah,
but at this time this is the most
yeah. This is
relevant
relevant
book
Bible.
I can say for creators or
Yeah,
people who are trying to build a brand,
yeah,
build a
yeah,
product.
yeah.
This is going to be really helpful, so yeah.
And if this soothes you and your soul, uh, I am going to share with you as well. But I don't know if you know Rick Rubin. Anyone listening to this, of course,
Yeah.
you know Rick Rubin. Rick Rubin is a great music producer. He's an artist, and he doesn't have any technical skills to create music.
Oh,
I got to
crazy.
know. I got to know now.
Uh-huh.
Yesterday, I came to know
Right.
that he is working on the intangibles. So, what I'm trying to say is the perception of art. People think that everything that is tangible is art,
Hmm.
but his sense of art and creativity is so fucking different and unique.
Mhm.
He says that he doesn't know much about instruments.
Right.
He doesn't know much about composition. He doesn't have any technical skills to create music by himself, but he's making $300 million
That's crazy.
big in the industry. I was like, fuck. And yeah, so we'll bring up Rick Rubin for sure. So the idea is show your work.
Yeah.
You have to counter the notion of what you think as creativity and what you think as art and what you think as work.
It talks about taste, right?
Yeah, yeah,
This is taste.
that's what he said as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
He for him, creativity is a sense of taste. He
Exactly.
says, I am someone who likes good music.
Exactly.
I have a rich taste of music,
Yeah.
and I know what to produce.
Mm.
And that guy is, I'm not talking he's some in some niche, right?
Yeah, yeah.
He's been producing music for people like Jay-Z as well.
Oh,
So
crazy.
yeah, it's not
Yeah.
someone,
Yeah.
some random dude
Yeah.
who was giving gyan on creativity.
Yeah. 300 million talks a lot.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So that's all from chapter number 7 and 8. Show your work. It's always so fucking fun. I hope you're enjoying this. Have a good day. Whenever and wherever you're watching this, stay blessed.
Yeah.